Restaurant design execution is quite unique and is very different from a fit out of a shop or an office because of extensive MPP services that goes into a restaurant. Hi friends, welcome to Kaizen View. This is Aditya and we'll discuss how to do interior fit out for a restaurant. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe. Let us first understand a typical layout of a restaurant. All restaurants are divided into two typical zones, FOH and BOH. FOH stands for front of house and BOH stands for back of house. In this typical layout, the color shaded area is the FOH area. FOH is that area which is typically visible and accessible to a customer, such as reception area, different types of sittings, cash counter area, even the bar counter, washrooms for the customers, etc. BOH is not accessible to a customer and is the heart of a restaurant. It is where all the action takes place. In this typical layout, the grey shaded area is the BOH area. It typically includes the kitchen area, the cold storage area, the manager cabin, the staff change rooms and washrooms. The biggest and the most complex part of a restaurant is the kitchen, as this is further subdivided into different components, which includes the food wash area, cooking area with options of stove and oven cooking, a clean dish table, sink areas for hand wash and dishes, a dishwasher area, food prep area, walk-in cold storage, etc. Now naturally all these areas will require tons of services to make them functional, like gas lines for stove, electricity and plumbing for the dishwash area, exhaust provision for kitchen hoods, cool area to keep the area workable. The first step to start with the execution works is to submit the complete drawing set to mall management for approval. If the restaurant is a standalone, then this step would not be required, as in that case you would be submitting the drawing set to Department of Fire and other government bodies for their review and approval. Once you get approval on the drawings, you are ready to start the site and mobilize your workforce. The next step is installation of temporary lights, power points and water connection, which will be required for your construction work. In an operational mall, you will be required to only work in the night time. So planning your workforce accordingly is important. Once done with installation of temporary water connections and plumbing connections at site, we will start with the site markings. Once done with the site markings, we will start with the framing for the partitions. Generally, a restaurant doesn't have many partitions. It's mostly the peripheral partitions and the partitions which separate the FOH and the BOH area. Depending on the requirements, you could either do a metal partition with GIS studs or do a wooden framing. It totally depends on local material availability, though both kinds of partitions are equally good. From this point, I will divide the video in two major parts. The first part will be about the BOH area and the second part will be about the FOH area. This will help in understanding the concepts better, but please note that works in these areas happen simultaneously and not one after other. The first thing to be done in the BOH area is marking of the services as per the layout. The electrical points are marked as per the equipment locations. Wall chasing, if required, is done to run the conduits and install the electrical boxes. Similarly, conduits are installed in the ceiling for lights. This is followed by running wiring and cabling through the conduits, and finally installation of receptacles and lights. The HVAC system is a key part in taking out the exhaust from the kitchen and also keeping the kitchen area cool. The point to keep in mind is the different type of ducts that is used for kitchen exhaust and the return and supply duct for the cooling purpose. MS ducts are used for kitchen exhaust and GI ducts are used as the regular HVAC ducts. The reason behind this is that MS ducts have a greater fire resistance than GI ducts. Look-wise, the MS ducting will be greyish in color, dark greyish in color, while the GI ducting will be silver in color. HVAC ducting layout is first marked in the ceiling, then accordingly the supports are installed. Post that, ducts are hanged on the supports. Once the ducts are hanged, the different pieces of ducts are connected together and insulation is wrapped over them. The firefighting system is very critical and consists of different components to prevent the restaurant from catching fire. These elements include the standard sprinkler system, which will work if the fire temperature bursts the glass bulb, and pressured water will be showered to douse the fire. The second component is the fire alarm system, which is triggered by heat and smoke. The BOH fire alarm system will be heat based and the FOH fire alarm system will be smoke based. Any heat or smoke triggers alarm which will tell the occupants to vacate the premises. However, it will not douse the fire. The third component is the gas leak detection system. This is required in the cooking area, which triggers alarm if the system detects any gas leak. This will allow to shut down any gas leak and prevent any mishap. The fourth component is the hood fire suppression system. This is a special sprinkler which is installed in the exhaust hoods. This is designed to burst at a higher temperature than regular sprinklers. Provisioning of space for gas line and the meter is important to have clear access to meter and shut-off valve. Generally, this is installed in a clear area, unhindered by equipment, furniture, where all-time access is available. The plumbing services are critical as there are several water supply and drain points in our kitchen, including points for hand wash sink, dishwasher sink, dishwasher, drinking water supply, and of course the complete plumbing works for the washrooms. An important thing to note is the requirement of grease trap. The wastewater from the dishwash sinks does not directly go to the drain. Instead, it goes through a grease trap, which basically filters all the grease and prevents the drain line from choking from oil from the food. Communication services will include having a phone connection and an internet connection, which of course everyone knows are indispensable for restaurant functioning, but are also required by customers. A communication rack is installed in a designated space. Generally, this is installed at a secure location like manager's cabin. This will house switches which will be connected to the server, and all the information such as inventory list, account details, cash flow, day-to-day communications can be securely backed up in the server. The finishing of BOH areas is typically done in white tiles, which are easy to clean and maintain. Similarly, white ceiling tiles are used along with other ceiling services such as lights, diffusers, smoke detectors, etc. Now moving on to the FOH area. The FOH area will have regular MEP services but will have a marked emphasis on aesthetics. Therefore, it's necessary to build the right furniture, take care of all final finishes, and build an ambience which is inviting to the customers. To start with furniture, if you're buying it, you will have to look at options that suits your design scheme, are good in quality and comfort, and of course within your budget. If you're getting the furniture built in a factory, there will be several quality checks you will have to get it done. Starting from getting the furniture designed, then inspecting the furniture carcasses, the foam quality, the density of the foam, the fabric quality, the stitching, the table bases, the tabletop wood finishes are all very important components to ensure the right final look of your furniture. There will be several storage and counters which will be built for your FOH area. The final finishing will be what will give the desired look to your restaurant. Decorative lights also need to be picked up as per the design scheme, which will give your restaurant the formal or the casual look as desired. The flooring could be chosen from different options like wood, tile, essentially any material which gives the required ambience and is easy to clean, unlike carpet. There are several other design elements like fabric paneling, wood paneling, metal paneling, which will give your restaurant the beautiful look you wanted. Don't forget to plan for the audio system. The control panel for the audio system should be ideally located either at the manager's desk or at the reception. So it's easy to control the volume of the music or shut down the music if required. The wiring and conduiting of the same should be planned earlier before you commence the finishing works. I hope this video gives you a basic introduction on the restaurant design execution. I'll create separate videos on each activity related to restaurant execution in my future videos. If you have any questions or comments, please don't forget to write them in the comment section. Thanks for your time.